Well, we're going to take you to two different parts of the country right now, Las Vegas and Connecticut, where our NewsNation affiliates have been following two major court cases today. So we start with new developments in the case of accused murderer and Las Vegas County Democratic official Robert Tellis, who was back in court today. The judge ruling Tellis will continue to be held without bail in connection to the death of investigative journalist Jeff Gehrman. Now, the district attorney is now stepping in, seeking an order to officially remove Tellis from office. Now, remember, Tellis is an elected official. He is still collecting a paycheck behind bars and still holds his title until his term ends in January of 2023. So David Charnes from our NewsNation affiliate KLAS joins us now. So David, now that this process is in motion of officially removing Tellis from office, what's next?
So today, as you mentioned, Rob Tellis was in court, his official arraignment to hear that murder charge against him. And the district attorney, who is also a fellow Democrat, came out and said that he would ask a judge in the same building there to remove Rob Tellis from his position until a new public administrator is elected in November, and then that person will take over in January. As we've told you, Nichole, that Rob Tellis lost his three-way Democratic primary in June, apparently upset over this journalist reporting, and led to this murder he is now accused of. So basically what the DA is asking is for Rob Tellis to not be paid anymore, to be taken from this job as he sits in jail now, and for someone new to take over until January.
And David, Tellis says he is prepared to defend himself. Again, he of course, being held without bond right now. But has your investigative team had a chance to talk with him about these allegations?
We did. We talked to him first to talk with him on Friday. He did not want to talk about these specific allegations. You remember when you and I talked last week, we talked about those prior domestic violence charges that were eventually dropped, and that really explosive body camera video we showed where he was very intoxicated and he was yelling at police officers taking him into custody. When we talked to him from jail on Friday, he said he wanted to clear the air about that he misuses alcohol, that he is now not drinking, but he did not want to touch the allegations for why he is in jail in the first place. And also to point out, he did have an attorney, but that attorney was not there today, and now he is being represented by the public defender.
Wow. All right. Well, we will, of course, will continue to follow this. David Charnes from KLAS, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.